I sat there in my bed and I thought I was having a heart attack. It felt as if a car was on my chest. I had no clue what was happening, and I was immediately deeply afraid. Our country was 2 months into its lockdown, and I thought I was dying right there, maybe even because of COVID-19. After going to the hospital, they checked all my vitals and everything was normal, even above average healthy, they said. It wasn't until weeks later, countless sleepless nights, a strong depressive attitude, and medical attention that we finally determined my problems were because of anxiety. Anxiety is defined as a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something that with an uncertain outcome. Most of the time, we can take an educated guess on the outcome of an event, and we are usually right, but some events stress us to a point of muddled thought where we can't really see the outcome positively. In this case, COVID-19's pandemic and quarantine, most people experience anxiety due to the uncertainty of future social life. So today I'm going to talk about the effect that the pandemic has had on mental health, specifically anxiety, and how there isn't enough awareness, and we usually treat anxiety with medication or things that are not the first resort of what we should use. So first off, anxiety can take many forms. I think it's important to just kind of define like what anxiety is and then like figure out why we're treating it the wrong way. So mental health is really intricate, and it's really impossible to determine like where it stems from sometimes. So Alicia Clark, a medical health expert, writes really clearly like what happens to someone who's experiencing anxiety. She says that sometimes this worry can occur with no visible cause. Someone may have no idea like why they're anxious. So it's really important to discern like what is anxiety and what is panic attack. So the difference is like that panic attacks end with you managing the problem and like you're completely fine and you can control the situation. And then anxiety is usually a subjective feeling that may build over days or weeks, and then it like will be too impossible to like overcome. So it refers to like the fear and the absence of danger, and involves like a future oriented scenario. But again, treating anxiety is really manageable, but it does take a lot of like trust and a lot of open-minded attitude. And I think that's kind of where the problem lies in today's society, because right now, if you were to go to the doctor with symptoms of anxiety and a lot of mental health issues, they're going to immediately prescribe you medicine, and that's not the way to go, in my opinion. So when I went to the hospital and then the doctor a few weeks later, I went to the doctor's office, and within 5 minutes, he prescribed me medication. And this medication helped the first night, and then after that, it actually made it worse. So what I think that we should do when it comes to anxiety and mental health is educate younger people immediately. So when they do experience it, like from the age of 18 to 24 was the most common age group to experience it. They'll know how to manage what they're going through a little bit better. So I think that social media has a good presence of educating, especially younger people, but also people our age, that 18 to 24 age group. And I think right now social media doesn't do a very good job of informing people and increasing the amount of ads that promote like healthy mental health. And also like some companies have come out to say that they ban ads for mental health due to the nature of causing us to delete our accounts, which is ridiculous to think about, but it's actually true in the cases of YouTube. And then also I think that the government does not do enough to help students and young adults. Colorado actually just recently enacted 3 free therapy sessions to college-age students. And this is the only state that's done anything like this, but I think that more states should follow that kind of law and that kind of action, because this is not an issue that's like, it will just go away. It's only going to get worse, especially with more social media presence and more insecure feelings in younger aged people. And then lastly, I think that pro athletes and celebrities should do a lot to like promote what they're going through, because there's a lot of people like Kevin Love, he's an NBA player, Kid Cudi. These are two people that I looked at their cases, and then I found that they were struggling with the same things that I was. So I just kind of followed how they took their steps of process, because they're two people that I like looked up to and I really respected when I was younger. And then it was easier for me to understand like that other people go through the same things that I go through. So I think that if we use like famous celebrities, athletes, singers, or influencers, we can overcome anxiety a little bit better, because the first real step, in my opinion, to treating anxiety is to understand like where your problems came from. So to conclude, like I told you about like the definition of anxiety and how it's treated, and also why the pandemic has had such a great impact on us. And I think that treating anxiety should start with looking at people that have gone through the same thing, and also maybe not taking the first step as medication, because that doesn't always end in the right spot, and it's only a temporary fix to the larger problem. And then also that the government and social media companies should allow for more education of anxiety, so that when people go through something like this is a really, really severe like mental health issue, that it won't be overlooked, it will be addressed right away. And it'll be spread to more people due to the like large population on social media. So just to the last thought is that if you see anybody that's going through something like that, the first step is to kind of bring to light their situation for them in like a healthy way, and make sure that they're in the right spot moving forward.